everyone. Welcome to Two Good Sports, that time of the week where we give you our tips using at your own peril. How'd you go last week, Greggy, with yours?
Not as good as last week, and it was an easier round probably. So half mark, I think I got 4. You might have got 5. You got one more than me, I think.
I got 5, yeah. But
you took Newcastle.
A couple of crazy games this week. We were talking about it before off camera. There's some just odds that you've never seen before. But let's get into it anyway. The first game on Thursday night, the Battle of the West, Greggy, Parramatta and West Tigers. Should be a good game, this.
Yeah, I agree. I give the Tigers some sort of show in this game. They'll try to use some motivation of Ryan Madison, whatever he did or didn't say, to their favour. But at the end of the day, I think Moses is back, and I think the Eels will win by about 4. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I think so. They're $1.40. I don't think they're $1.40 Parramatta. No. It's interesting. They had a loss last week. Not many people backed Manly, a busted, bruised Manly side. We didn't back them. And it wouldn't shock me this week, West Tigers coming out and knocking them over. This will let us see a little bit of Parramatta's credentials where they are. If they fall over this week and the same sort of treatment as what happened last week to the West Tigers, I'll be second guessing their credentials.
Couldn't agree.
The next game, the Cowboys and Manly. Interesting game. Paul Green's been given the axe obviously this week. A lot of teams bounced back after their coach has been sacked, Greggy. They weren't bad against the Panthers. Got a couple of good young kids there.
Yeah, the win ratio isn't probably as high as you think on the bounce back. They tend to actually win the second week after, believe it or not. When I had a little bit of a look, I know a bit of a statistics man there, and I had a little bit of a look into it. And they tend to play well the game after, but they tend to win the second week after they sack the coach. But I think the Seagulls have found their mojo again, and I'm going for the Seagulls. Although it's interesting to see whether Fanua Blake will play. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Cowboys, look, they impressed me. I thought they would have got a score put on them by the Panthers. I'd imagine Manly, but I don't think it's going to be a lot. They've got a couple of troops coming back, I believe, but they've got some really long-term injuries, haven't they?
Yeah.
Valentine Holmes, a few others. Excuse me. The Broncos and the Storm, $7 the Bronx. They've come in from 9, so I don't know what's happened at training.
Yeah, I can't see them winning, unfortunately, Hamo. I reckon Storm by about 16.
Yeah, look, it's at Brisbane. That's a bit of a saving grace. But you can't, no one can, what's the name of the bloke who goes around on the horse at Lang Park? He wouldn't be back in the Broncos this week. No. And I think, Melbourne Storm in a canter, unfortunately. They've got some big problems there. Apparently, they've got a fair few changes this week, but I don't know, they need more than that. And obviously, Seabold, this is week 1 of his ultimatum, isn't it? Melbourne by about 20, 24 for me. Warriors and the Roosters, talking about long shots, $10.
Yeah,
boys from
Roosters by 30.
Yeah, me too. They looked tired, didn't they, against Cronulla? They looked tired and they just had enough, I think.
It could be more than 30, mate. I've been kind. I reckon 40.
Yeah, me too. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't. No one wants to see. It doesn't matter who you follow, really. If you really do love rugby league, you don't want to see sides get murdered every week because it just weakens the competition. But I hope they can sort of somehow find a bit of resolve against the Roosters, who have got troops coming back as well. Cronulla and Dragons, 2 teams that genuinely don't like each other very well much.
No, that's the rumour going around. And I want to confirm the rumour with the supporters. The Dragons playing Sharks. Sharks home game at the home of rugby league at Jubilee Oval, Cogra. The Dragons to win by 10, hopefully. I just hope we beat these blokes. I might say something else. It'd be a great game.
Yeah, I'm taking.
It'll be a great game.
This should be from a bloke who doesn't follow either side. I think this will be a really good game. Really good, tough game. This one. Both forwards were impressive last week. You got some good kids coming through there. I'm impressed by Josh Kerr of the Dragons. I think he has a bit of a dig every week or most weeks.
I reckon Jackson Ford will be something too.
What's that, mate?
I reckon Jackson Ford will be something too.
Yeah, he does look good. I'm taking the Sharks, but not much confidence. I think maybe 4 points. I'm going to take the Sharks in a really close one out there. This next one, Greggy, the Raiders and the Rabbitohs.
You're not impressed?
No one picked the Raiders last week against the Roosters. Well, I didn't anyway.
No, but the Rabbitohs didn't impress me at all. It took them about 60 minutes to get in the game last week. I can't. If the Raiders play three quarters as well as they did last week, they win this one, and I think they can play three quarters as good as they played last week, and I think they'll win. Yourself?
Yeah. No, me too. I agree. I see that James Roberts is out for 12 weeks. He'll be back if they make the semis. Ethan Lowe is out. They believe that neck injury, he had surgery in 2016. He could be out for 8 weeks. So they're gone for the season, probably, those two. Yeah, I think Raiders probably by about 8 to 10 points. The Knights and the Bulldogs.
I think you've got a little bit of thoughts here on the Bulldogs. It is the second week syndrome that I said that, the coach can get them raised up for the second week after the coach is sacked. I still think the Knights will win, but I reckon it'll be a good game too, Hamo. I'm here, Knights by about 4. Yourself?
Yeah. Look, I'm on the sort of verge of taking the Bulldogs, but I won't. They were pretty brave against the Dragons. I think we've talked about it before. When you lose a lot, I think you forget how to win sometimes. But I think the Knights by not much. They'll win a couple of games before the end of the year. I think.
I agree.
Under Steve Georgialis. The final game, the Titans. They started really well last week against Melbourne. We were watching it in separate homes and we were talking our way through it. The wheels fell off and Melbourne, I guess. They're $7 against the Panthers. The Panthers, I know they'd be disappointed by the performance they put up against Cowboys last week. I'm thinking they're going to win pretty convincingly on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, kiddo for me, mate. No further comment. I really agree with everything you said.
All right. Your lock, Greggy.
Yeah, my Bentley's towels. I love me Bentley's towels. They're brilliant. I'm thinking my lock of the week. There's a lot there that you could take as a lock of the week, I reckon. But I'm going to just not quite go for the leading obvious as such. And I'm going to take Manly as my lock of the week. I think they'll be too good for the Cowboys.
All right.
So,
yeah, look, I'm not going to take the Roosters because that's a bit obvious as well. Look, I hope I'm wrong. To the Warriors people out there too, I really hope you guys get up and have a good win against the Roosters. You're everyone's second favourite team at the moment, so not by any means having a go at the Warriors. But my lock of the week is Melbourne. I think they'll Brisbane. Well, you'll find they'll come out and I think they'll fire up a bit. They have to, but they'll run away with it with their professionalism.
Who's your Smoky? Who's your Bentley Smoky, mate? Your Bentley Tower Smoky?
Well, I'd have my Smoky, and that's the Bulldogs. I'd lean toward the Bulldogs. They were impressive for patches of that game last week against you guys. Like you said, the second week syndrome. I was impressed by the big Pommy. They're mine. What about you?
He's quick. Very, very quick.
He runs hard too.
He runs hard and a pace. West Tigers. I still probably lean slightly to the Eels, but I think West Tigers and West Smokies, I think they can upset the Eels if they play as well as they did last week. And, Benji's got a second life. Harry Grant looks good. And Billy Walters, congratulations on scoring your first grade try. He played well.
Yep. Now, Harry Grant's leading the Dally M's, eh?
Yeah, 13 points.
Yeah, he's an absolute fine. He's going back to Melbourne. I'd be throwing every single thing I could at him, but I don't think that Melbourne have gotten to where they've gone to where they are for being the nice guys. They're not going to hand him back.
No. They're cheering him at Leichhardt. You see that? The crowd were cheering his name.
I see that, yeah. He could be a cult hero there. Well, that's us, Greggy. Hopefully your tips go well this week too, folks. But until next time, we'll catch you later. See you next time, Greggy.
Nice. See you, mate. Kick to the corner.